thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
I am thrilled to be here with you.
So I want to preface the conversation. I'm going to let Brian take the lead, but I do want to preface the conversation with just a little bit of context. Our external partners, including WeBank and the regional partner organizations, are really important for us in terms of our strategy and how we go about meeting our goals. And that is only going to become even more the case because we are in the process of doing a major refresh on our supplier diversity strategy and setting some very aggressive targets, what I like to call BHAGs, big, hairy, aggressive goals or audacious goals. And we're looking to increase our supplier diversity performance, our supplier diversity spend with small minority women-owned businesses by about 40% over the next 24 months.
Wow, now that's impressive.
It's aggressive. I have every confidence that we can, but it's going to be critical that we continue to partner and even more strongly and even more effectively with partners like WeBank. So with that as a preface, I will turn over to Brian to complete our hosting duties for this session. And thank you again so much, Pam, for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, Deborah, and thank you so much for serving on our board.
My pleasure.
Wonderful. Well, Pam, thank you for being here. Again, I echo it as Deborah has already stated. It's wonderful when you can have someone who is not only a tremendous leader, but also someone who enjoys what they do, has a clear vision, and is very friendly in doing that. And so that is something that I believe our goals are going to be attained because we do work with partners like you. Well, let's be a little formal real quick. I want to make sure I introduce Pamela Prince Easton, who's the president and CEO of WeBank, Women's Business Enterprise National Council. Pam, tell us a little bit about your role. We think we know what a CEO and what a president does, right? But maybe give us a minute or two of what is your role day in and day out?
Okay. Well, actually, I'll tell you, my role day in and day out, quite honestly, I don't know what it's going to be, right? So when I first came to WeBank 4 years ago, I knew that I was coming in and I had a lot of internal operational activity to do. I knew that I almost needed to be internally focused, and I needed to work with our regional partners to really build the strong network that you as supporters of WeBank really needed to have, right? So like the first year when I came to work, it was really very much focused on looking at talent within my own organization, looking at the processes that were going on, and again, having a lot of conversations, seeing our regional partners, but really a little bit more internally focused in that first year. The next year, it became a lot more focused on listening to each one of our clients, right? So major customers like you who will openly say, I support women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, small business, disabled business, and here is what I need from you. And what we needed to do was listen to that and ask you an intelligent question back, and then start to make sure that that was what we were delivering. And so kind of in year 2, we started doing a lot of that, and at that time, we just had such a great staff at that point that each one of those people on the staff were also doing it with other major customers. And we were able to come back every day and say, okay, I've had these visits with these clients. They've shared with us what they need from women-owned businesses, what is underrepresented, what is overrepresented, from a strategic focus, what does this mean to your business? And you guys started to really trust us with that information. And even you and your competitors would, knowing that we wouldn't share your information with somebody who shouldn't have it. And so because of that, it's allowed us to really hone our processes, and each one of us learn more about what you do in order to serve you better. And so every day, it's coming in, it's looking at what have we kind of committed the next 6 months, making sure that we're focused on your industry, we're focused on you. And again, thank you for the Student Entrepreneur Program. I think it's absolutely amazing. This year, absolutely the best. And those students are incredible.
They are.
Wonderful. So let me ask you, because you mentioned how you listen.
Yeah.
And when I think about what your organization, what I've learned about your organization over the years that I've been working with you, you have corporations that you need to listen to. You have women-owned businesses that are your stakeholders. Yeah. You have government organizations, nonprofits, Am I missing something?
And the regional partners.
The regional
Regional
partners.
partners.
And then I have to listen to my employees as well.
Yes.
So
There you go.
imagine all of that information that you have to gather
Yeah.
and choose to do something strategic, do it well, and really accomplish your goals. So we could talk about that for a long time, I'm sure. When I think about why we're here today, it's really how do we help WBEs grow their business,
Right.
get business,
Yeah.
give back, and
Yeah.
all. Tell me, what are 2 or 3 things that you've really learned from WBEs over the last 4 years that really have set the stage for the work you're doing today?
Okay, I'll be more than happy to do that. I think that I think I might have even had a good idea about this when I first came over from Pfizer, which was I myself was on the procurement side and the diversity side, like both of you are, right? And during the discussions that I would have with many businesses that had not frequently been doing business with Pfizer in the past, I could see that they were doing a good job of kind of putting their statement of capability out there. They would do as much research as they could on what your business was, but then when it came to that actual competition process, there is some degree of a formal process that happens within these corporations. And I saw a lack of an understanding of that formal process in some cases, right? And so that became really important to make sure that throughout our network, whether we at the national level during a conference like this or our regional partners are delivering messages about what's your supply chain like, what's your buying process like, and really helping WBEs understand that. That was probably kind of the first aha moment. The second aha moment has probably been a bit broader in that there are, when I step back and try to get really strategic, right? You start to look at things and say, okay, well, one form of benchmarking is to look at something that is similar to what you're looking at but has really nothing to do with it, right? So I looked at the civil rights movement, right? Okay, and so to some degree it has something to do with it, but to another degree it doesn't, right? But when I looked at that, what I found was it was the grassroots nature of things coming up to say we need to recognize equality, et cetera, right? And so what that meant to me was I think that WeBank, NMSDC, NGLCC, USHCC, all those organizations, I think that we all do a really great job at working with the formal corporate infrastructure to really understand how to compete effectively in those supply chains. And I think there's a true desire for many companies, right, to do business with these types of suppliers, okay? I mean, the innovation, all those things that are benefits, right, of doing business in that case.
Right.
I think there's a true desire for that, but I think that to get to leapfrog support, right, to get to something that happens a lot faster than evolution,
Yes.
I would say that you've got to create a movement. So the women-owned logo is meant to do that. It's meant to get every consumer out there to recognize the importance of women-owned businesses. And as that happens, they'll ask their family members who work in a corporate setting, what do you do about women, right? And so you guys are driving it from the professional perspective, and then we have the consumer-driven piece as well.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Awesome. Well, Pamela, you have an energy that is just
Infectious.
infectious. So
It's shell energy.
Pumps us all up.
Shell energy.
Join forces, succeed together.
Yep.
When did that start?
It actually started in the very beginning. One of the things that I wanted to make sure happened is that we created a community when I first got here, and I think that that's what the WeBank board wanted, and I think that's what a lot of people were looking for, right? So we first started with We Are WeBank to just say that
Yep,
all
I
of
remember
those
that.
4 constituents, the corporate and government members, the WBEs, the RPOs, and the WeBank staff, all of them are required. All of them are WeBank, right? We're a family. So we got the family thing down,
Right.
right? And then we got into, okay, we can be effective, but we can only be effective when we have common goals, right? And so it became about everything that we looked at in serving WBEs or serving you as corporate members, that we look at that as the RPOs and WeBank together in order to join forces and succeed together.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time.
Okay.
But I want to ask you one question that I'm going to leave it up to you to answer.
Oh my.
Yeah.
If supplier diversity is going to take the next step,
Yep.
what do you think is one thing that needs to change and change before evolution?
Oh boy, let's see. One thing, I have to think about that, quite honestly. I mean, I think that I recognized that and many of us have recognized again, so the need for the logo, right, to create that consumer awareness. That's the thing that comes to mind for me right away. Additionally, I think that we talk about the business case of women who can support you, right? And so I think our awareness to act intentionally, right, and to understand your products and services will really drive the buying force where it needs to be.
That's wonderful.
And I think one thing that I would add to that
Yes?
is moving from both the language and the mindset of supplier diversity more into supplier development.
I do agree with you on that.
And capacity building
Right.
and growing, and some growing not only organically, but
Right.
what does it look like to grow well beyond organic?
Yes.
What does next step growth look like, and how do we achieve it among diverse business owners?
I totally agree. I
Me
do.
too.
That was a great answer. I wish I had that.
Well, Deborah Stewart started this segment with what
With
I
a
call
BHAG.
an announcement of our aggressive goal.
Yeah.
Working with WeBank and Pamela's team, I think we're going to get there.
I agree.
So Pamela, thank you very much
Thank you
for
so
your
much.
time
Thank
and
you both.
continued success.
Thank
with
you for
WeBank.
all you do.
Awesome.
Thank you,
All
Pamela.
right.
And Brian, tag, you're it, dude.
Man, you guys are amazing.